Welcome to Soul Trek. Today's episode, Whatever Happened to Nutsy Fagans? Well, welcome again to Soul Trek. And if the truth be told, and I think anyone out there who actually knows me knows this already, if truth be told, I'm a person of simple tastes. I don't need to get too sophisticated or complicated about one thing or another. Last year, we went out to dinner at a very expensive restaurant. I mean, very expensive. And it was wonderful. It was a really enjoyable time, and I was glad that we did it. The meal that I chose came with a suggested wine. So I ordered that wine. It didn't really dawn on me that it was a $12 glass of wine, which seems a little excessive, even if it's really, really good wine. A few minutes later, our server came back and she said that they were all out of that particular wine, but they could recommend this other, slightly more expensive wine at $16 a glass. And, I canceled the wine order altogether and asked to be brought a Pepsi. I mean, it's not that we couldn't afford $4 more to buy a more expensive glass of wine. But for me, the reality is that I really wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a $14 glass of wine and a $16 glass of wine. That difference would have been lost on me. In fact, I probably could tell the difference between a $2 glass of wine and a $12 glass of wine or a $16 glass of wine, but is it that important to me? And that was what informed my decision that I'd rather have a soft drink than any wine at all. So that's my sophistication level right there. This coming from a man who regularly wonders whatever happened to Nutsy Fagans. When I was a kid, Nutsy Fagans were this new thing. It was a new snack. It was a peanut covered in, I presume, potato chip kind of material. I remember there being regular flavor and barbecued flavor. There was probably a sour cream and onion flavor. There might have been a hot Tex flavor. I don't know. I just remember regular and barbecued. And it was a snack I used to enjoy while watching Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday nights. And then, I don't know, about 30 years ago or something, I thought, I haven't had Nutsy Fagans for a while. I couldn't find Nutsy Fagans. Anyway, I'm actually getting off the topic. I didn't want to talk about Nutsy Fagans. I wanted to talk about keeping it simple. I really don't need to splurge for a $12 or $14 dollar glass of wine. Now, other people will, and I don't criticize that at all. If that's your thing, if you can distinguish the difference between those kinds of things, I can tell the difference, between, Nutsy Fagans and the bulk bin kind of thing that you might see today. Just in the quality of that covering, Anyway, the fact is, I think, on our spiritual journey, keeping things simple is really beneficial. The more complicated we get, the more complicated we try and make things, the more complicated we even try to make our spiritual journey, the less satisfying I think it's going to be for us. So I encourage people to revel in the simple pleasures of life and take great joy in those moments, because I kind of think that's what they're there for, is for us to truly enjoy those simple little things that bring us pleasure. When we think we gotta dish out a lot of money or make a great big effort in order to achieve those things. I'm not so sure that that's really in the cards for us. It might be on some things, and that's going to be different for all of us. But really, in the meantime, taking joy in a piece of music that you like. The Baby D Drop song, the jingle for those vitamin supplements for infants. It's a great product, I presume. I've never tried it. But boy, that song gets stuck in your head, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, I could be there all day singing Baby D Drops in my head to myself. I hope I don't do it out loud. I think the people think that's kind of weird. But there may be other pieces of music that aren't like earworms, that you can take joy in, or a picture, or a scene, or a sunset, or the laughter of a loved one, whatever it is, to stop and notice all of those little things that can bring us a smile or some joy in our lives. And we'll find they're easier to find when we start to take real joy in those things. So that's my recommendation for us today on our spiritual journey, to really enjoy those little things that happen in our lives that bring a smile to our face and some real happiness, because I think that's fuel. That's fuel for us on this trek of our soul, on our spiritual journeys.